$24.9 billion. That was the amount U.S. families paid tutoring institutions in 2021. But education should be free, not something for companies to capitalize on. Education should be a platform for people of all ages to connect and learn. That's what Neuron provides. Neuron is an app that allows students to connect with peers and connect with different generations while simultaneously receiving help from them. With informative forums, students are able to find the answers to all types of questions. In these forums, students can like posts they relate to or to posts they find helpful. But need more help? Students can reach out to other users by searching for them, or simply by clicking on their profile. Users who answer numerous questions and receive many upvotes will have a rank beside their profile. Additionally, the specific category of questions they answer allows students to have a better understanding of their area of expertise. Users can follow each other and reach out to one another to ask for one-to-one help. Furthermore, with Gamify feature, Neuron incentivizes other users to answer questions or post on forums to gain points and accomplish goals. But still, why Neuron? Apart from connecting different generations and providing free education, why else would people use Neuron? From our analysis, we can see that users would use Neuron due to its wide audience base. You see, Neuron is more than just an educational app. It is an app that allows students to connect with different age groups, whether it be assisting the younger generation or receiving help from the older alumni. A minor weakness is our dependence on our consumer base, especially with the peer helping system. A threat stemming from this weakness is the slow progression that might result from a slow rise in consumer base. This is because Neuron is a place for users to communicate with others. Thus, the need for a larger user base is expected. However, as the saying goes, slow and steady wins the race. With a slower progression, we are able to receive more user feedback and further develop Neuron. Additionally, stemming back to our Gamify feature, Neuron developed a system where users can benefit from answering questions such as volunteering hours. Diving more into Neuron's volunteer hour system, we have decided to gamify the app's volunteering system where every task on the app accumulates points. For instance, asking a question would receive 1 point, responding to a question would receive 5 points, and for every like on the response, the responder would receive 2 points. If the original poster liked the post, then the responder would receive 30 points. When users have accumulated enough points, they can exchange them for other things. For instance, 200 points can be exchanged for 1 volunteer hour, and 2,000 points can be exchanged for a $5 gift card of the user's choice. Now, let's move on to how Neuron was made. We first drew a user flow, but we then polished up our ideas into a short and simple storyboard that depicts the benefits a user can receive from Neuron. However, Neuron hopes to go beyond the limitations of the storyboard. In the future, Neuron hopes to become a place where users have the ability to promote themselves on the app and become tutors through a rank system. In the end, Neuron's ultimate goal is to become a platform where students can connect with each other, receive accessible education, while having the opportunity to become educators themselves.
All right, wonderful. Good stuff, Team BlackJack. So our first question comes from Judge Henry. Henry, go ahead. What question do you have for our students?
Well, first, I think it's your presentation going through a SWOT analysis was pretty interesting. I really love that. And I would actually like to understand more about your SWOT analysis here. You talk about slow progression and you talk about small user base and all these things together. How do you anticipate if you have to come up with a plan right now, what is the plan to combat the slow user growth in terms of like how your app is going to run, who's going to put the contents there, who's going to try, like who's the first person or a group of people that's going to start growing what's inside neuron? They want to tackle that question? I'll make it simple. Who do you think would be the first set of people that would help you grow your content in neuron?
I was just wondering, are we allowed to like jump in and answer anytime, or do we like discuss who's gonna answer it, or?
Just jump in and answer, and you can interact with each other while you're answering as well.
Okay. So ultimately, I think that Neuron is going to be growing from students mainly because students and people who want to learn information and grow connections are going to be the main demographic that we're going to try to target. So I think in very early stages of developing Neuron, we thought that perhaps advertising or promoting our app to perhaps classes, like people in schools or the school board actually, would be a great way to gain traction through our site and also to get lots of students to come be interested in our app and see its functions through the school itself, creating credibility and also creating potentially a big user base because there might be students who might see this app and gain an incentive to use it beyond school and to learn further.
Oh no, that's good answer. I'm surprised you even brought up the word school district in there. That's pretty good.
Okay, wonderful. Let's throw it open to the whole judging panel. Do you have any follow-on questions to that?
I like the gamification part. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you came up with that concept? Like, what were you thinking when you came up? Go, hey, we should gamify this. Tell us a little bit more about the process, the thinking process there.
So, wait, could you repeat the question, please?
I say the gamification part was really good. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you came up with that process?
I've seen a lot of like different apps online, maybe like to watch ads or something. Like, I don't know, watch ads or do these quizzes to get these amount of points, and then you can trade it for real life money. I know Misplay is a pretty big contender for that, where you play games to make money. So it was the gamification of this part was pretty much our take on it. And instead of like playing games or doing things that are, I guess, less productive, we decided like, hey, two birds, one stone, might as well. People can learn, people can like gain more knowledge and stuff like that. And you might be able to get like volunteer hours and other like benefits while doing that. So that's what we thought about.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, no, I like the volunteer hours. You can tie the two together, right? Because everybody needs that in high school. Thanks, Derek, and the team.
Okay. Wonderful, good answers. Any final questions before we throw it up to the audience?
I had a quick question.
Go ahead, Daniel.
So I was first off, great video, really intriguing idea. For sure. I have a question. I wanted to hear more from you about a little bit of your research. How did that go about for you guys? How was the approach in terms of understanding the user a little bit? Did you do interviews? Did you reach out with surveys? How did you carry through that process?
Really go and do a lot of different research or like you said, interviews, but I think as students ourselves, we found this app to be very useful, and among friends we would make, say, Discord channels or like other things similar to that to exchange information or to help each other with different studies and like courses. So I think that as students ourselves, we found this app to be of great help, and throughout our high school career, I think it would have been really great to have something like this to help us with entering high school or knowing what we want to do for university and so on and so forth.
Okay.
That's great. I think that's actually super clever to use Discord. It seems like a wonderful way to engage with the community.
Okay, wonderful. We actually have an interesting question from the audience. I'm going to bring up the question here. This is from Ali. Why should people not capitalize on the idea of learning? Apps like Udemy and Skillshare profit from capitalization. If you do not profit, how would you entice investors in an app that makes no money? And actually, there was a follow-up question as well from Aki. Similar platforms like Chegg and Quora offer like a premium accounts, maybe something similar. So Team BlackJack, what are your thoughts on those questions?
I think as a app that's mainly for learning and connecting with others, it wouldn't really make sense for us to make something like a premium account where features of the app would be limited. But we do have things in our app, such as the gamifying feature, as well as other things like giving them points and in exchange for like different things that they can get. And also there's apps out there such as Duolingo that don't have these premium features, and they can still profit off of different things like ads or other investors. So I don't think we need to have something like a premium account or anything and still have enough investors.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Great answers. Those were some pretty tough questions, guys. But you guys provided some great answers. So awesome. Thank you, Team BlackJack. Thank you so much for your presentation and good job. All right. So we'll see you in a bit.